I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
We are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Demon Slayer, Season 3, Episode 2. Last episode, we were treated to kind of like 2 episodes at once.
And
it was
awesome. Was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Longer format Demon Slayer. I want more of it. Every time we get more than 23 minutes and some change, I am the happiest person ever.
Yeah.
It really does well for a longer formatted time.
It's so...
And we don't binge watch.
Yeah, I know.
It's coming out live, so we can't anyway.
I wonder why that is. Like, obviously, it's like animation, like the art, everything is like 10 out of 10, but why does it lend itself so well?
I don't know. There's just something about this show and maybe how they pace when they do a longer format that it just feels so good. I mean... Mugen Train is still probably one of my favorite movies of all time, so...
I think that changed my life. Like, I've been, like, I was looking for a Rengoku figure in my life for months.
And
after
last Sunday...
that figure.
Yes, last Sunday was, like, the best thing ever, too, to get 40-something minutes of Demon Slayer.
Love it.
We got... Because what did we get? We got funny.
Yeah.
We got just story. We got setting up what was going to happen.
The Inosuke scene has been replaying in my head since we've seen it.
I mean, if you've watched any of our other Demon Slayer content, you will know that Inosuke is, like, very beloved.
He's very important to you.
He's very important to me. I have a little stuffed animal somewhere else, not in here, but I love Inosuke.
We talk about the show quite a lot. With the cameras off. We talked this morning or last night.
Inosuke.
About
we
Inosuke.
Talked this morning about how we love how beautiful he is.
But they never show it.
You never get to see it, and it's always the boar head, and that just makes it, like, so perfect.
That's what's, like, the cherry on top, because typically, I'd assume, at least, if you have that gag in your pocket, you'd utilize it as much as you could. But I love that they don't. It makes it worth it.
It just fits his character so much more, too.
Yeah, I love it. But Inosuke and Zenitsu, presumably, are not going to be in this episode, or at least a few episodes going forward. Arc. Yeah, I don't think this arc, but I had to, you know, place a bet.
We guessed that they probably wouldn't be in this arc before we started, and then last Sunday kind of solidified that for me. Yeah,
we saw Zenitsu in the snowy mountains, far away.
Screaming for people to come save him and Nezuko.
But last episode, right? We got a little bit of new information, introducing a couple more demons of the top 5 variety.
Which was very exciting because we definitely are super intrigued by Akaza. So to meet some others.
Akaza definitely is in his own lane for me. Like, it's hard to explain.
We have this weird connection of, like, kind of loving Akaza and wanting to feel for him.
I hate Akaza for what he did, but there's this, like,
it's from the interaction that he had with Rengoku.
Yeah.
There were things that he said and his attitude, but also his attitude last episode to the other demons that he was interacting with.
Especially Doma, who is, like, a sociopathic serial killer type vibe, and I am terrified to see more of him.
But he's so entertaining.
Would love to see that charismatic man frighten me more.
Yes.
And then
please frighten me more, charismatic man.
4 and 5, which I believe are going to be the ones that we are going to mark eventually in this arc.
Tengu and Gyoko.
Gyoko, yeah, correct.
Yes.
And then we were introduced to the biggest question mark, 6 question marks, Kokoshibo.
Yes.
Who looks a lot like Tanjiro's dad.
Just looks like a family relation for sure.
And speaking of Tanjiro's dad, you know who isn't Tanjiro's dad, probably most likely? The man who lived 113-ish years ago, I think, Sumiyoshi. Yeah. When I edit this show for us, it's almost like I get to watch it again and read the subtitles again. So, apologies. I think that probably is correct, because we've seen Tanjiro's father, and that would be a big jump.
Yeah, the only reason I was going for it so hard was because when we saw Tanjiro's father, he was very sickly, and he was much older. And when we saw the sleeping woman that was the wife of Sumiyoshi, she looked a lot like Nezuko. And so I was going like, oh, art style. They're drawing younger aged people to look a certain way, and they look like Tanjiro and Nezuko. That would make sense. That's the art style, maybe.
Yeah. I think you had a really good discussion point theory, because after we watched the episode, we, like, talk about it a bunch, but you had a good point of maybe, just maybe, is Kukushibo's brother or twin or relative the person who was talking to Sumiyoshi. And I think that really fits in with the entire sibling element theme to this show.
We got it in such a beautiful way with Gyutaro and Daki and fighting Gyutaro and Daki. And those were two siblings that ended, a brother and sister, that ended up fighting together as demons. And so it felt really good when we had that fight. But there's something much more perfect about a parallel of a sibling relationship of demon and demon slayer. And to have Nezuko not be a demon fighting for Muzan and be a demon slayer. Yeah. We also have Tanjiro that has the black Nichirin sword, like this person that we got speaking to. Yeah, I believe it did look like one. Yeah, and I think it would fit with all of these other parallels and connections, that this other Hanafuda earring wearing person has a black Nichirin sword that hasn't been seen in a really long time.
Until now.
I
think it's a mannequin.
We're righting a wrong. We're filling the circle in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a mannequin when we saw him at the end of the episode, or a wax figure.
It was really misleading because of how well taken care of it would be if it was a statue.
Yeah.
It's very well protected, too.
Yeah, this guy was like, I don't know if he was talking about what I presumed to be a mannequin, but he was like, my family made this. You know?
I know. I was like so against it when you were saying it last episode. I was like, no, there's no way. It has earrings on. It has clothes on. But I think that I might agree with you that it's actually just a really well taken care of family heirloom statue that this small child is the bodyguard of.
To go back a little bit, it would, just thinking about how everything played out, like season 1, why Tanjiro's family was killed in the first place, it would connect a lot of dots from the flashback that we saw, which occurred right where Tanjiro's family was, you know? God, I still haven't recovered from season 1. But I also still haven't recovered from Inosuke last episode, who had a highlight moment that has been replaying in my head ever since.
You know, it's pretty interesting that we've talked so much about Inosuke in this intro, with the fact that they're probably not going to be going forward in this arc. But we love him so much. And that was the funniest moment ever. And he was on the ceiling that whole time. And we got that little clip at the very end of him whispering sweet nothings into Tanjiro's sleeping ear.
So a few questions going into this episode. Are we going to get more Genya?
Probably.
Are we going to learn more about, You know what? No, my biggest question is Mitsuri coming back, or is that, like, it?
That would be the most wild thing to have happen, to have her just be in that intro episode.
Yeah.
But she's in all of the, like, art.
Yeah.
For this arc. And then for her to just actually leave in the middle of the night like she told Tanjiro she was going to. No, something happened. And Mitsuri is deciding to stay in the Swordsmith Village. That's what it is. That's the village.
We definitely are going to get more Muichiro, who we assume is looking for that secret weapon that Mitsuri mentioned. I'm interested to learn more about his past and how much of a prodigy he seems to be.
And what has that done anything to his ego or not?
Good question. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Sweet. It is a mannequin.
It's a training dummy.
Whoa, 6 arms, 6 eyes.
Doesn't even remember him.
Oh. Oh. Strange vibe.
Does he not remember?
Yoriichi Type 0. Damn, those eyes.
But the tact.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't. Better get out of here. He heard the voice.
Mechanical doll. Training, right?
Yoriichi type 0.
Oh my god. Just get this thing to fight all the demons. Damn. Oh!
Stop! And was his name Yoriichi?
Damn!
300 years ago.
Oh. Offer to be his doll. Can he not use it? Oh. Protective. Interesting. Like a reincarnation type thing?
Ancestors' memory. Making him feel better.
Kotetsu. Damn, that looks so cool.
No.
Look at his veins. What a good outlook.
Look at his little cheeks.
Oh.
Oh, a little blush.
He's already done. Muichiro is just socially, you know.
He also mentioned torture training at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, I need to know his past. I bet the crow knows what Muichiro's been through.
Maybe that's why she's so protective.
Yeah.
Now only with 5 arms, but still!
Oh.
Hell yeah, right now! Get ready!
So he doesn't get killed at first? I miss watching Tanjiro train. Seaweed head. Oh my god.
I wonder if it reminds him of his siblings. Fluid.
I bet Kotetsu's has seen a lot of Hashira come through here, right?
It's like Rokodaki.
I like the song. Oh my god.
Either!
So tyrannical.
Look at how, oh, he's so underfed. He's pushing his body to the limit.
He was too hungry to die. What is happening?
I don't know, I'm worried. Food? Sense. He can smell locations?
Oh!
Yes.
Oh, cool shot. Oh my god.
Sooner than he can see the opening thread.
Sense of smell is the strongest.
Hesitation.
He saw the hesitation.
Oh my god.
Secret sword. How would Mitsuri know about...
The secret weapon! It's
Yeah.
not the training mechanical doll! The tyrant!
Okay, that was Demon Slayer Season 3, Episode 2. Man, it sucks going back to shorter episodes. I miss, like, the hour long.
It felt so odd. When this episode was over, I was like, yeah, no, we literally just started, like, 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. I needed more.
It's like... It's your sense of time gets thrown off so much when you go from something like 40 minutes of content to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And so it literally only felt like it was 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good episode, though. I liked learning a little bit more about Muichiro's disposition, or like
his
disposition.
Disposition's very interesting.
Yeah, he, especially like with the outro, the way that his expression was definitely made it seem like he used to be much happier or peaceful. I have to assume, or like say that my first thought is we had confirmation from the crow that he's a descendant of sun breathing, and if Muzan's out to get people who are descendants of sun breathing or of branch families, it would also make sense if his family was murdered in a similar way that Tanjiro's was.
That is a really great point to make, that if he is a descendant of this person that in Muzan's passed on memories to the other demons, he is scared of.
Yeah.
To the point where they have a mechanical training doll that no one really truly knows the history of anymore, that's 300 years old, that resembles that same person that Muzan seems to fear in some way. And so that is a really great... I didn't even connect that maybe that is why Muichiro is the way that he is.
Potentially.
So I think we kind of, when we started this season, laid out what we thought the kind of current question marks were. I think at the beginning of this episode, maybe even, we talked about like the blue spider lily. And who is this person that showed up to Tanjiro's relative? And now I'm like, okay, I really love getting to know the Hashira. And I really liked getting Rengoku's past. I really liked getting with Tengen, seeing the glimpses of when he first met his wives and then how they kind of all grew in their relationship together. But this, and some of the lines he was saying, I was like... So he says these lines at the beginning about torture training, and he's very blunt. He's has, as Tanjiro says, no tact.
Yeah.
And then Tanjiro is very much like, I don't like this guy. And it's a very interesting relationship, personality dynamic to have with Tanjiro as the super, super nice, too nice guy who is going to always carefully say his words, use words that aren't going to hurt someone's feelings the best he can. He's very protective of people's feelings and their hearts. And that's one of the most endearing parts of him. Yeah. But to have this mix of no malice, but still very blunt and truthful.
Exactly.
And Tanjiro even said, like, nothing you're saying is a lie, but I don't like how you're saying it, and to the extent that you're saying it, and that you're saying it to a kid. So I like this dynamic that's happening.
The no malice is really interesting. Like, of course, like Hashira, right? I wouldn't think that he's like a villain or like has any malice to begin with, but it's an interesting like point to say in this episode to us, because I'm like, I could draw some connections between him and Tanjiro, like if things happened a different way or slightly different even.
I think what kept it in one area, like obviously the torture training line, I'm still going to keep that in the back of my head because I really like what you just said about kind of what could have happened to Tanjiro. And so on that thought, I'm going to go into, is Nezuko's existence the reason that Tanjiro is able to continue the way that he was before?
I think that that's a really good point. I think that his belief and wanting, things to change, maybe even Gyu showing up and having some sort of interaction with the two of them as well. And then, like, everything through Tanjiro's path that we've seen so far, if one small thing didn't happen or happened differently, he could be totally different. You know, if Nezuko wasn't a demon or wasn't turned into a demon and they were all just dead, I don't think that Tanjiro would have the same, like, mission to... I think that there's a chance that he'd still be like, okay, let me avenge my family, but it would be a much different Tanjiro.
It might be colder.
Yeah.
There's something about, if I were to try to put myself in Tanjiro's shoes, I think the fact that I would still have one of my family members with me, I would still want to be somewhat my old self.
Yeah.
You know, there's something that you're still so connected to your original personality, your past, and you want to... He doesn't want to appear like a totally different person in front of Nezuko. He doesn't want to worry Nezuko.
Yeah.
Even if she is a demon, he doesn't want to worry her. So having her there is definitely going to keep him being who he always was, both as a support, but also like this responsibility as the older brother to make it so his little sister never has to worry and he'll take care of her.
Yeah. There was a line that Tanjiro almost said and then was interrupted. And I don't remember if it was by Kotetsu, if it was by Muichiro, or by the crow itself. But that's the same age as my about to say brother, which would also potentially connect with Muichiro losing maybe his family, you know? Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a similar kind of sentiment that they'd share.
That would... I think when we saw it in the outro, it seemed like possibly two parents in the background. But there could always be siblings.
Or maybe the fact no siblings, no chance of being turned into a demon. Nezuko didn't exist in his life, you know? I definitely think that his crow knows what he has been through, though. It seems like very protective, you know?
I have another layer. What if... Even so, not only is that step the fact that he might didn't have a surviving family member if he is in the same kind of a parallel line to Tanjiro. The other element is Tanjiro got saved by Gyu, which you said, but then there was Urokodaki.
Yep.
And what if Muichiro wasn't kind of trained by the same level of, even though he was harsh, there was love there? And warmth?
Well, yeah. I mean, we have Zenitsu was trained by Gramps, love and warmth. Tanjiro, Orokodaki, Inosuke, Woods. But no, like torture training. What if, like, you stumble upon a teacher, but it's just a lot different, a lot more painful, a lot more cold. That you're told that there's only one way to live this life or get anywhere, you know?
And it's possible that teacher might have had knowledge. Well, it seems like it's common knowledge that Muichiro is from a descendant of the sun-breathing. Doesn't that even lend to the idea, if it's common knowledge between people, that he would be trained harder?
Yeah. Because
he has almost more of this ancestral responsibility and this possibility of this innate talent within him in order to take down Muzan, that people might be very harsh in training him because of that responsibility.
Yeah. There could be a connection, I wonder, to, like, the master. Like, maybe after learning about if something did happen to his family, like, he could have stepped in to try to, like, guide him a certain way that didn't turn out right. Or, like, I also think of Rengoku's dad, right? He was an ex-Hashira, and even though he survived, his outlook on life was so twisted and, like, he mean-spirited, that if somebody who had a similar disposition was the one to train Muichiro, I could see that training resulting in, you know, a much less loving, motivating Hashira.
Am I supposed to possibly guess that they are both descendants of sun-breathing?
I think that...
But maybe a branch
Tanjiro
family?
we have nothing to suggest that Tanjiro has any blood relation.
We've only heard about the scar.
Sun-breathing. Yes, with Tanjiro, it was like, that's not how it is. This is a scar from my childhood that had nothing to do with that. The only reason he had the flame dancing to begin with was because his dad passed on that dance, you know?
Right, but then we get with Kokushibo, has both kind of Tanjiro's mark on his forehead and up his neck. So that's why I'm wondering, is this like, if it was two brothers, he's a descendant of that brother, and maybe Tanjiro is the descendant of Kokushibo.
Perhaps. That would be cool.
It could be, like, different family lines.
Yeah, but if that was a descendant of Tanjiro's family that we saw last episode, what if the thing that they passed on wasn't even a name, but the dance in itself, you know, and maybe the earrings, and that enough was enough to pass on the memories.
Right,
inherited memory.
How did we end up with the earrings when they were originally on this person, appearing to this ancestor of Tanjiro's, with his final lines kind of being like, don't name your kid after me.
I cannot believe nobody brought up that they had the same earrings. I was like waiting for it.
It was right there. And I don't like.
Are they that popular?
That took me out of it like only slightly because I was like, why is no one talking about how Tanjiro is wearing the same earrings as this mechanical doll? And all of them are acting surprised that he had a dream about this person that is represented by the mechanical doll. He's literally wearing the same earrings.
Yeah. Like, they could be popular, you know?
Their hair is the same color.
I love the idea of the mechanical doll. Like, obviously, it seems to just be like a thematic mirroring of 6 arms, 6 eyes, because the whole purpose of the 6 arms was to mimic something that nobody could ever
no one could ever actually do. They couldn't make the doll achieve the same technique that the original swordsman could unless they gave it 6 arms.
108 moves. Damn.
There's now that element that Tanjiro bested the 5-arm version.
Yeah.
Muichiro bested the 6-arm version.
There's still that gap.
There's still, and I think that that's a great, like, actual visual, literal representation of what a gap between Tanjiro currently and a Hashira would be.
I wonder if Muichiro would be pissed to know that he took the wrong sword after his broke.
Interesting. If you were in his shoes, wouldn't you be, like, a little frustrated? Like, you could have gotten this awesome sword? I mean, he might not even care.
In my mind, in my headcanon right now, he doesn't care. He won't care. It doesn't make a difference
He
to him.
seems to think of swords as just tools that can just be broken. Like, and he just threw it at Tanjiro and was like, discard of this one.
Like, Haganeska, like, I get your rage, man. He couldn't be with
Haganeska as a swordsmith.
I understand that you're punished when Tanjiro breaks one of your swords, but
he has respect for it.
Yeah, he has respect for you, and he heard it. I love that Haganeska showed up this episode, you know?
Tanjiro definitely smelled him and was like, Haganeska's here?
The whole idea of Kotetsu being like, Tanjiro saying to Kotetsu, try hard for yourself 10 years from now. Like, the you 10 or 20 years from now is going to be happy that you tried hard now. I think that's a really cool sentiment.
And also, on that same note, he's talking to this kid who has very much an emphasis in their dialogue on ancestry and ancestry responsibility. So when Tanjiro reminds him that the ancestry doesn't stop with him and that in the future, his kids, his grandkids, if he can't figure it out, someone still can.
That was a different side of dialogue from Tanjiro that I feel like I have not heard in a while. The idea that he might not accomplish the Muzan feat.
Yes.
And that somebody else might in the future.
That's a great, like, kind of place to go with what I just said.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. He is almost saying, it made me think of the trust that he's now placing in, especially the Hashira that he's met and had substantial relationships with Nezuko in tow. I think he's realizing through those interactions, and as those Hashira grow to actually care about Nezuko and realize, you know, she's not just the average demon to be scared of and kill.
Yeah.
I think that he's seeing that he, with Nezuko, is building this almost like world of understanding, a place where she could still be safe.
Yeah.
And people that would still care for her enough to want to help her.
I'm thinking, like, the comparisons again between Tanjiro and Muichiro. Like, Tanjiro, throughout his journey so far, he has his mission, but on his way, he has helped other people. Time and time again. But Muichiro seems very one-track minded.
To the point where he it's almost like his mind is empty except for whatever that goal or mission is. And if he gets distracted from it, it takes him a second to realize who's speaking to him, what are they saying, process that information. It's like his mind is very...
It's like he has horse blinders on,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
he doesn't even remember Tanjiro or his interactions. And then,
until, like 5 seconds later, and then it light bulb.
Yeah, and just barely, right? The thing that, like, has me, like, what the hell the most this episode was the shimmering stone moment. But it led to this, like, I guess, power-up or, like, new ability that the opening thread and the site for that is not, like, the best of the best right now. He can use his scent to decipher where the strikes are going to land. That's crazy.
As Kotetsu said, you're just going through, like, the moves and the motions. You're not, like, really, like, in it.
Yeah.
And now that's him being really in it. That's him using all of his actual personal talents in order to achieve the best.
Yeah. Can you smell things underwater? No way.
No. Because you would die if you tried to
Not
smell
Tanjiro.
underwater.
Tanjiro can smell underwater. That's a crazy talent. If you could smell underwater, man. I mean, what? It's like a scent on like sharks, you know, blood in the water. Could we benefit as humans from being able to smell underwater?
Possibly.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a really intriguing point. I don't know. I'll talk to you about it later.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything more to the Shimmering Stone underwater, though? Do you think it's going to, like, have a name like the opening thread or, like, a, you know,
he might give it a
title?
name, like, I smell the Shimmering Stone or something like that. He might give it, like, some kind of phrase or tagline to say when it happens.
Yeah.
But it made me happy to have that now, because his sense of smell is something that is easily accessible to us as a viewer from watching this for 2 seasons already. And so to have it now be something that can advance him makes a lot of sense, using his actual talents and not just technique.
Yeah. So do you think, my last thing, I guess, is do you think both Hashira, if any, will make it out alive by the end of the season?
Oh, see, I don't, after Rengoku died, I find it very hard to believe that the current Tanjiro, what he's gone through, and the potential he has, the fact that he has already taken down an upper, you know, I find it hard to believe that will happen again going forward. I almost feel like, sorry, Rengoku, you seemingly were the sacrificial lamb of Tanjiro now being able to help Hashira make it out alive. Because Tengen made it out, and then obviously Nezuko basically saved him, actually, because the poison. I don't know if a regular doctor could have helped him the same way.
I am a little worried about Mitsuri, because she is not here from what we've seen. If she gets confronted by 2 upper-ranked demons, like, on her way out of the village, and then after dealing with her, they move on to Muichiro and Tanjiro. Like, I'm a little worried for her at the moment, unless she, like, turns around and comes, and, like, we see her again and interacting with the other 2.
Couldn't you see her, like, about to start fighting a demon, and then Genya is there, and then they have to fight together, and he's like, ugh!
That'd be awesome.
And she's like, do you like me? Why won't you talk to me?
I want to learn more about Genya.
I know. We saw something very interesting that I don't think we're gonna, like, truly talk about in the intro with him and his choice of weapon.
Of the gun? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Understand it. Are there Nichirin
bullets? Maybe. I mean, where else would you go if you needed them?
Exactly. But I think that you have it right to, why would she not leave? Why would Mitsuri not leave when her whole plan was to leave as soon as her sword was ready? So the idea that as she's leaving the village is when she discovers the demons or comes upon the demons or they come upon her. I mean, without a doubt, this is probably the location, unfortunately, that they have found. Yeah. And we've had a lot of dialogue, especially in this episode, about how the swordsmiths can't fight, you know?
Yeah.
But there's demon slayers there. And it's almost like, is that kind of this arc is protecting this village from these demons? She'd probably be the sounding alarm of, oh my god, demons are here, demons are here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm nervous for her. I don't want to break down the ending or intro too much because I feel like if I think about it too much,
if we think about it too much, we might
some blanks, and I don't want to do that.
But her ribbon sword, we got to see it in action. I really want to.
I know, and we're not going to talk about what sword Muichiro is using in the intro or outro either.
See, I didn't even pay attention to that.
We're just not going to talk about it.
So we're not going to talk about it because I didn't even pay attention to it.
Yeah, it's fine.
I tried to watch it with like almost like glazed over in a way. Like, not actually processing what I was seeing and more just enjoying it with the song.
If
and,
it comes up while we're watching it, it's fine. But, like, I don't want to go break down scene by scene, you know?
Try too hard to analyze it.
Yeah. All right. That's all I have you.
I think so.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we hope to see you next time.